Oh man, I miss her so much. I gotta stay busy. I gotta find stuff to do, or else, every day it hits me that she's not here anymore. Hey, cats, what's happening? Yeah, there's still a lot of things that I do to keep my mind off of the obvious and kind of cheer me up a little bit. This is one of them. My motorcycle. Now it's January 18th, I think, already. So we're well into January already. We got February, March to go through, and then spring will finally hit. Let's see if I can fire her up, because I don't winterize my bike. It's always here in the garage. It's always ready to roll. So let me see what she'll do. She didn't fail me. She fired right up. I don't know what the temperature is in here. It's almost 40 degrees inside the barn here. So I'm surprised, because sometimes when it's cold, yeah, I can almost see my breath. Sometimes when it's cold like this, she doesn't want to fire up. She'll crank and crank and crank quite a bit, and then she'll finally, take a while. But yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And I was hoping that I could take it out for a run, but it snowed just a couple days ago, and they salted the heck out of the road again. And I don't want to take it out in the salt. That's just a bummer. And then it's like 50 degrees, so if you're riding in 50 degrees, it's going to probably push the windshield down around 30, which is going to be pretty cold. You wouldn't want to go too far just joyriding, unless you're dressed for riding a snowmobile. I don't have all that snowmobile outfit. This is my sled, and it's more of a summer ride than it is for winter. I do remember buying this thing, though, and somebody asked, me about, how I bought it. I didn't just run out and buy the first bike I wanted. I actually went to the local dealer first and looked at the models that they had there, and kind of got an idea of some price ranges, because from the Sportster on up to the Ultra, there was quite a difference in prices. And this was back in probably 1998. And they had a Fat Boy in the showroom, and I really loved the style of it. When my eyes saw the styling of the Fat Boy, I thought, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I like the fatter tires, I like the solid rims on that model, and just the whole style of the bike was right in line with what I was looking for. Now, the price was much higher than what I was hoping for, and I wasn't even sure that I could afford it at that time. They were probably up around almost $20,000 back then. So, you weren't getting any bargain when you're looking for a Harley. Well, I sat on the thing, and it fit me really nicely, and I found it to be very comfortable. And I didn't buy that bike. It was a black one, and that was kind of what I was looking for. As I said before, I didn't want red or white or any other odd color. I just wanted to go black. That was the color that I liked with the Fat Boy. And so I went home and I pondered it, and I thought, okay, I got to get a better price, because that's pretty expensive, and I can't afford that. So how am I going to do that? And I thought, well, I'm going to shop around. Now they said, oh no, you can't shop around for a Harley. The price, it's not like buying a car. When you go in there, the price is what they have marked on it. And I thought, nah, I don't fall for that so much. So I started hitting all the different dealerships around. Now, the Fat Boy was always a popular model, and some dealers that I went to, they said, we don't even have any in stock, and we don't know when we can get them. But a couple had them, and their prices were either equivalent to the first one I looked at, or a little more expensive. Well, I ended up traveling quite a ways out towards the eastern side of Ohio, northeast Ohio. And there was a dealership out there, a small dealership. And when I went in there to look at bikes, the guy came up and said, "Well, what are you looking for?" And I said, "I'm looking for a fat boy." And he said, "Well, all I have is a blue one, and it's still in the crate. I haven't even uncrated it yet. It came right from the factory. So it's got a lot of prep to do on it." And I said, "Well, what would you want for it?" And I think he was down as low as 18 something on it, which was quite a bit cheaper than any of the other places that I had looked at. And I said, "Wow." I said, that's a pretty good price. I said, I'd like to consider that, but I really gotta see if I can finance this, see if I can afford it. So I went home again, and I was slow to make a decision. I had to really, run all these figures in my mind. I'm like, golly, I don't know if I can afford. That's a lot of money, and golly, I don't know. And I think I knew in the back of my head that I was going to get it no matter what. But anyway, I went back to the very first dealer that had the black one, and I said, "I'm really serious about that fat boy." And they said, "All right, what are you looking for?" And I said, I would really like a black one." And he said, "Well," and they didn't have, the black one wasn't in the showroom anymore. It was gone. And I was like, oh, man. And he said, "Hey, you know what? I have a brand new black one in the storage barn behind the dealership. We have a lot of bikes back there that haven't been prepped yet, and we have a black one back there. Would you like to take a look at it?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So we went back there, and he slid the big garage doors open, and he pulled a couple bikes out of the way, and there was this brand new black one he wheeled out. And that's what I was looking for. And I said, "Okay, let's talk price. What do you want for it?" And he rattled off something close to 20 grand. And I said, "Well, listen," I said, "I really want a fat boy, and I'm really going to go. I'm going to buy one. But I'll tell you what," I said, "there's a guy that has this dealership out in the other side of Ohio, and he's got a brand new one that he's going to offer me for about 18 something. And right away, the dealer who I was there with, he said, "I can match that price." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem. You got a quote from the guy?" I said, "I'll get one." He said, "Yeah, I'll get a quote and I'll match it." All right. So I did that, and I went back and I bought the black one. He said, "You come back on Thursday and pick it up. We'll have it prepped and ready to go for you. We'll get the title and everything for you, and we'll get all the paperwork worked out, and off you can go." So I remember, I remember like it was yesterday. I was so excited, I didn't know what to do. I showed up there that Thursday, and I went in the office there and filled out the paper, signed my name to the documents. My hand was trembling a little bit. I was like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. And then they wheeled that one out to the parking lot, and they said, "There it is, it's all yours." And he just kind of basically went over a few things, and which I was already pretty familiar with anyways. I didn't need much of a introduction on it, but that's what they do anyways. I got on the thing, I started it up, I warmed it up for a minute, I clicked her in gear, and I took off headed for home. Now I had about a 25, 30 mile ride to go home, and I rode this bike like I had owned it my whole life. I mean, there wasn't even a learning curve. I got on this thing and I just cranked it up down the road, and I had this big old grin pasted on my face. I was the happiest man around. Now, of course, the stock bike, it was pretty simple. You know, it was black. It had the Harley Davidson Fat Boy logo on the side of the tank. I got that on my truck here. That one right there was on the side. That was similar to the same logo that was on that 99 model. You know, and of course it didn't have a windshield. It didn't have the light bar. It just had one headlight. It didn't have these, I don't know what you call them, those light shield things. The turn signals were up here on the handlebars. It didn't have the saddlebags, obviously, and it had stock exhaust pipes, which those are my stock pipes up there that came off the bike, the original bike. These were Vance and Hines pipes on here that I had put on there after I wrecked it. There wasn't anything wrong with those pipes up there, except that the guy just said these pipes are going to sound a lot cooler. Boy, I've been happy with them. I love the sound of those Vance and Hines. I had another buddy, as soon as I didn't have the bike very long, but one of the guys from the biker bar, he said, hey, swing over to my house, I got a light bar for you. And I went over there, and he had a light bar that fit the Fat Boy, you know, this rig here that the turn signals go on with these two spotlights. And he helped me hook it all up and everything, so that was pretty cool too. I don't know. The vibration always turns this one, and it's tight, but this one always seems to want to turn out a little bit. And I've straightened it up, I've cranked on it, and it still wants to twist out. But anyway, he gave me that light bar for free, and he helped me hook it all up and everything. We moved the turn signals from the handlebars down there, and that was pretty cool. I made a lot of other changes to it through the years. I just kept adding more and more stuff to it to personalize it, to make it my own. But I've loved this bike, and it brings me a lot of joy. Now here's a great point that my buddy Mike Schaefer made. If I hadn't bought this Harley Davidson Fat Boy and been down the path where it took me, I would have never met V. There's something to ponder. And you know, on days that are pretty hard, when I'm missing my V, I just come out here and fiddle around with the old Harley. What else you gonna do, you know? Oh, there's always work to do around here too. Don't kid yourself. I stay plenty busy doing work, but you know, hey. Well, thanks for joining me today out here in the man cave. I appreciate all your support, all the love and the comments. Highly appreciated. Thanks for hanging in there with me. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.